Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out, might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess, Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no patience. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We installed out in...
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, set. Watch my board. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, Could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson completes it to Lee. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
54 right there, 54 miles. Let's go.
Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 8 reads. We ain't giving up nothing today. Look at me, zipper.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Fournette, a first down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Tyrone Crawford able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Jones. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, it'll be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And some room to maneuver. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big run by the big man Fournette. 44 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Alert three. Shoot. Whip. Watch the whip.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination.
And got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
60 Pittsburgh. General West. Ready.
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got Smith here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's another Vikings first down.
Ready?
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Topper!
On 1st and 10, Jones. It's caught, Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Herb Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson. The open man is Westbrook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out right at the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check.
Here's Jones, operating from the gun. And this one complete to Smith. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now on 2nd and 16, Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go.
Here's Jackson to throw. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got the hook up to Lee. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive...
Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now, 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. And they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
44's the mic. 44's the mic.
To throw on third down, Jones. And he's able to find Diggs. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
Yeah, let's get set.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Jones on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, Zoo.
Now Jones to throw again. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. 11 yards there, first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing Jones. It's hauled in by Jackson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Now Jackson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again, Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
We got this!
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either throughout the first 3 quarters.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
I'm coming.
Play action. It's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Jackson now. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Here's Brian Anger now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 20. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yes, sir.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 44. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Let's go, baby.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Watch twist. Watch the twist. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Watch the slip, watch the slip.
At the 42-yard
Hey!
line.
Again, it's Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 yards there, 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.